just what you say, that you're good and your love.
Fáilte, good news for Armagh. I wonder what goes off in your mind whenever you hear the word faith or belief in God. In our land, the idea of faith or religious belief has actually become something of a dirty word. It is the cause of the troubles. It's a source of division in our society. It is backward, outdated, and should be relegated as a thing of the past. And it's made worse by the religious nutcase ringing into the Nolan show, shouting and complaining, never sounding like they like anyone or love anyone, but they're always quoting the Bible. For some, faith unfortunately means bad examples. It brings back memories of being hit or being shouted at or even abused, all the while someone telling you that God loves you. We don't like faith in our land. For others, faith is something that's misunderstood. Faith means believing in yourself. It has nothing to do with God. It is to think positively, and if you do that enough, it'll happen. In a recent interview, Morgan Freeman was asked about being a man of faith, and during the discussion, the interviewer asked him what religion or what God did he believe in. To which Freeman replied, God? No. You don't have to believe in God to have faith. I believe in myself, and this might be what you think that faith is. For some, to have faith and religious belief is like closing your eyes, stopping your ears, ignoring reason and saying, I believe. It's irrational to believe in God. We've been through the Enlightenment, we have had the scientific revolution. We do not need faith to explain anything. Everything is explained by science and reason. What use do we have for God now? I wonder if you've ever seen the film Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And there's a scene toward the end where Harrison Ford must take the leap of faith. And he comes to this chasm that is impossible to cross, and his father shouts out, "Believe, boy, you must believe." And so Indiana Jones shuts his eyes, clutches his chest, and sticks his foot out and steps out. And he lands. He lands on a piece of rock that had been there all along. He just couldn't see it from his angle. And that's what they say faith is. We don't need faith because the stone was there all along, you see. And we don't need to look at the world through the angle of faith. Everything is now explained through science and through reason. We want faith to be like this ruined Franciscan church. We want it to rot and to be something of the past. Well, the Bible has such a different view of faith that makes so much more sense. Faith in the Bible is always a response to something. It's always based on something. So when Thomas doubted that Jesus was raised from the dead, what did Jesus do for him? He revealed himself to him so that he could see him, he could hear him, he could touch his wounds, he could smell him, he could eat with and watch Jesus eat. Jesus gave Thomas evidence, levels of evidence, not just sight or touch, but all of the above. And then Thomas responded in faith toward Jesus. That's what faith is. What Jesus didn't do is tell him to close his eyes, stop his ears, and just believe, boy. It's the opposite. He says, open your eyes, Thomas. Listen to my voice, Thomas. Here's the evidence. And God does the same for us. And so faith in the Bible is a belief that has a foundation. It's always a response to evidence. The great example of faith in the Bible is a man called Abraham. And when Paul describes his faith, he talks about it not in terms of blind, unthinking faith, but he says that Abraham considered. That means that he calculated it out. God spoke to him and he weighed it up, he thought about it, and then he believed God. Biblical faith is a reasoned trust. And this is actually the kind of faith that we use in everyday life. We trust people. We read a newspaper. We do science. All by reasoned trust, not by blind, irrational response, but based on evidence. Now, no doubt faith is not proof, but neither is day-to-day life though. It is stepping across a gap, not as Indiana Jones did, eyes closed, working it up in himself, but as Thomas did, with all his senses open and involved. It is stepping across on the basis of evidence. Well, you might say then, well, how has God revealed himself? Or how has he spoken? Well, for the next few weeks, we're going to walk through, step by step, the evidence that God has left for us. And if you dare, you can ask God for help to show you, You can believe in God. It is rational to have faith in God. If you want to hear more, click on the link below to download a podcast or the e-article on faith, and it will expand on all of what I'm saying. Subscribe or ring the bell for the latest updates to hear more. Slán go Fáilte.